Coach, I want to put this question to you because that's mostly what we're doing on this series. There's been a whole lot of negativity surrounding the black players or black people, or I don't know, not just the African but the black community in general. How do you deal with that, with your relationship with the African team? What do you think Vietnamese football needs to improve on?
It's strange.
How do you expose the players to getting signed by local clubs or international clubs? How do you create the opportunity, or like, do you get scouts or do you market the players by yourself? How do you get players to sign for teams?
In football, other clubs don't make money. They mostly lose money. Most of the money that comes in goes back into the club. If you're a football club owner, you get a hard ride. You really got to love football because you don't make money, you spend money.
How did you feel when your husband came back home and looked you in the face, looked you in the eye and said, I am the head coach of the African team in Vietnam?
You know, extremely proud.
But I'm not getting paid for it. Tôi tên là James McAloon. Tôi đến từ nước Anh. Tôi đến từ nước Anh.
Nước Anh. Tôi đến từ nước Anh.
African roots. African roots.
Overlaps, underlaps. 1-2 combination play. Good. Okay. That's what we want to do when we got the ball. Obviously we're going to look to build up from the back. When we are building up from the back, if you see a direct ball forward, play it. I don't expect you just to keep the ball. If you can, we have to keep the ball, keep it. But if you see opportunity, we go. Alright?
To put you on the spot, what would you say has been like the biggest achievement you've made so far in African team?
I think the biggest achievement is the environment as a whole.
Yeah.
Being able to provide a place, and I don't mean a place. I don't mean the field.
Yeah,
I mean the culture.
The opportunity for them to have a place to train.
So when you set the environment, you set the culture. When people come here, they know that they're coming here to train seriously. They're not coming to just knock the ball around. They're coming to do something more.
Yeah.
And I think many people will agree, and many people will say this: the actual action of playing a football game is the culmination of the work, of the environment, the training, everything that goes into it. So yeah, we've won games, yeah, we've beat V-League teams, yes, we win tournaments, but that's just the culmination of the project, of the objective. It's not, yes, you have to work hard on that day to make the slight nuances to make sure you win, but if you don't do all the stuff that some people would maybe say, oh, that's not the interesting part, that's the boring part. That, for me, this isn't the boring part. The coaching, the training every day, instilling belief, instilling confidence and passion, and making sure that everybody knows what to do and when to do it. That's the interesting part. That's the real work. That's the real passion. The actual game, you're actually not in control so much in a game. Like as a coach, you can only do so much from the sideline. The players already have to know and what to do, and if you haven't done your work before, you really have no hope of winning those tournaments. So those trophies, those big moments that everybody's joyous about, and some people will say, and coach, you don't look excited. I say, because I'm not excited, I'm expectant.
Yeah.
And when it's more of a relief when we win rather than
celebration.
Yeah. So that's my biggest achievement, and working with the players so that they win the games, but they go on, they sign contracts elsewhere, and not just that, working with the coaches, working with the people, everybody's involved with African team to provide such an environment. Yeah, because an enabling environment. Because I've been to different countries in Asia and I hear about, and there are many, I'm going to use the word similar loosely. There are groups of people who come and train, but no country has got this environment.
The setup.
Yeah. So anyone who's in Vietnam is an international footballer, not African, international footballer who wants to train.
Yeah.
This is a really unique place.
Yeah.
And I'm lucky that it existed before.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully throughout that period the team is lucky that we've been able to develop it, not just by myself, but with the help of the other coaches, with the help of administrators, but people with passion like yourself and Solomon and Baba and Bakari and all the people who surround it. And there's been people along the way who've done things, and that culminates in something special. And
Vietnamese football has been on the upwards recently.
Yeah.
And how do you see Vietnamese football factoring all the things that are going on recently regarding the players and the team and the national team? It's been going great, but what do you think Vietnamese football needs to improve on?
Yeah, so you're right. Vietnamese football has taken huge strides, even in the last 6 years that I've been here. Like, as you can see, when I first arrived 6 years ago, there was a massive dip in the popularity of football. Stadiums were pretty much empty. But now, stadiums are full. I believe that the level of player has improved, and that's testament to the setting up of age group categories throughout. Not all the teams yet, but you know they have their under 15s, under 17s, under 19s. Yeah, they need to do more. There needs to be the lower age group categories as well. They've got a national academy in the PVF Academy, which is huge. That's really, and then the Wan Jalai Academy, which was probably the only one that was existent when I first arrived. There were a few foundation projects in Ho Chi Minh and things, but now most of the teams have their age group set up, which is really important to ensuring that when the players reach the V League, that they're competent and capable to raise the standards. And the standards have been raised not only in terms of the technical ability but the tactical ability as well. So that's gone a long way. It's a massive improvement. The few things that you would say that need to be improved still is availability of facilities. So, you look around in our environment here and you would say, there's good facilities. Yeah, that's true. But in terms of the availability for all, this facility, we're really lucky that we have a good relationship with the management. We train in the morning when there's nobody nobody around. And we're lucky that our players are able to train in the morning. But if you're a child in Ho Chi Minh City and you're not in a professional academy, or you don't have the money to pay for a school of excellence, so to speak, where do you play? There's no open spaces. You can't just go and kick a ball around easily with your friends. It's not easy. So that's great, like kind of real grassroots could be somewhere needs to be improved. But I think if you pick the right people to come in and work together with the Vietnamese coaches to add more tactical knowledge and be able to develop it on the field as well as develop the mentality. Not the mentality is good, but to want to change the way we play football, then that will be successful. But if you bring in the wrong coaches who do the wrong thing, it leaves a bad name for the next coach who might be good, but it's already been, what's the word? Tainted, thank you, tainted. It's already been tainted by somebody who's done that. And that's happened recently, even in the last couple of years. There have been coaches who've come in and didn't assimilate with the environment, didn't assimilate with the culture, and they messed it up.
Coach, I want to put this question to you because that's mostly what we are doing on this series. There's been a whole lot of negativity surrounding the black players or black people, or I don't know, not just the African but the black community in general. How do you deal with that, with your relationship with the African team? How do you deal with the negativities?
Are we talking in football or are we talking in
football, socially, societal and everything?
For me, I think we're lucky in that African team now has got a certain reputation as being a really good place. In terms of the players who play with African team, they're serious. They're not gonna, for example, not gonna go and play games and try and kick people or cause problems. There's not going to be any fighting or stuff, which might have been a problem historically. So, for our point of view, when people say, "Oh, we're coming to play a game from an African team," there's not really an issue, because they know that everybody within the team is disciplined, and they're there for the right reasons. Yeah. So, in terms of that, maybe stigma, I don't think we've encountered it in the last 2 or 3 years. Prior to that, yeah, there might have been issues, but that's the way to overcome that, is by not saying, "Oh no, we're disciplined, we're good." It's about proving it. And living it. Yeah. And I think we did that on the field. We've won tournaments, we've competed in tournaments. Well, we haven't won, but we still maintained a high level of discipline, and we did the things the right way. When we won, we were humble, and when we lost, we were gracious. And that's the way to prove to people that you're serious, but not only you're serious, that you're a good person, and you can be trusted to be in an environment. And there is the one thing that some of our players here who could be playing in the V League, where other players have been picked ahead of them who aren't as good. Yeah. Why? I think that's another. It comes down again to the fact that people take bad advice. So football clubs here are influenced by people who are bringing players in, saying, "Oh, this guy, look, he's come from La Liga, or he's playing in."
So it's more about reputation.
Yeah, he's playing in Serie A in Brazil. Maybe it's not Serie A, but the first league in Brazil or something. But actually, when they get here, they're not special, or maybe that CV, you can say he's played since 2006, he's moved clubs every year for 15 years. Well, is that really the player you want to bring? Or do you want to bring somebody who knows Vietnam, knows how the league works, already used to the conditions in terms of the climate? But people take bad advice. Like some of the clubs, they constantly bring players and they're gone again in 6 months. But they've paid an enormous amount of money to bring them in. It's strange.
How do you expose the players to getting signed by local clubs or international clubs? How do you create the opportunity, or do you get scouts, or do you market the players by yourself? How do you get players to sign for teams?
You know, I wish I knew how to do it better, but I try my best. So it's all about a network of relationships. You build up trusted relationships with coaches or agents. And then, you know, sometimes you got to take a little bit of a gamble. Somebody introduces you to an agent and says, do you know anyone who wants to go to, say, for example, Myanmar? Yeah. And you say, yeah, and then maybe you send the player, and then if it works out, then you go, oh, okay, this means that this guy's serious, he actually has some influence, and then you try and send another one, and so on and so forth. But you always have to ask the players as well to do their own work. Can they find their own connections? They got to make their videos. We play enough games that they can make a good highlight video. They play, they have enough opportunity to also help to market themselves. But it is actually, strangely, it's easier to market our players outside of Vietnam than it is inside.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
I don't know. Maybe it's because, as we said, people like fresh faces.
Yes.
They want, oh, this one's come, oh, it must be new, nobody's seen him before, he must be a great player. And then they put him for the team and he doesn't do anything, they kick him out after 3 months, and then somebody calls them and says, oh, I've got this player. They bring him in, same thing, and okay, it doesn't always happen. Yes, good players come in, sure, but there are good players here. You saw the level of football we're playing. Yeah. And again, we'll go and play Dong Nai. I'm expectant that we will win. There'll be people there and they'll speak to someone, they say, hey, like the goalkeeper coach who came this morning, he's from Ho Chi Minh, worked with Saigon. They'll say, hey, did you see this player? It's all about creating that. It's not scouting so much, it's more word of mouth. Yeah. Because I don't think scouting exists pretty much in Vietnam. I don't think anybody scouts, which is another thing that needs to improve.
Yeah. But Speaking about that, as a man who you mentioned earlier, this is a non-profitable job. This is a non-money-making job. We saw a couple of people that work as your assistants. How do you pay those people, or they are working for you, or what is the
how does it happen? Yes, we can't all work with no money. Yeah, from my point of view, I have my academy here.
Okay.
So I have a business here.
Okay.
Which means that Matt was here this morning. You know Matt.
Yeah.
Matt is the head coach of Rising Star Football Academy.
Okay.
So he's got his own coaches to manage, and he can't always be here, but he's on holiday this week, so it's always good to have an extra pair of hands.
Yeah.
And then Coach Manga he coaches for different academies, but also he does some work for us a couple of times a week, which means that he has some money to sustain himself.
Yeah.
And that's similar to a lot of the guys. They'll find jobs that mean that they can still train and still be available for the games, that are flexible. But brings them in enough cash that they can pay their rent, have food, and have I wouldn't say comfortable, but
at least
enough.
Sustainable.
Sustainable lifestyle.
Yeah.
But in terms of money, in terms of what we make it, there is more money that goes into the team from the pocket than it will ever come out, because we don't make any money from. We say, players go and sign, but they must give money back. If they want to give money back, then they can contribute for the team. So put some money in the box for training, balls, whatever, transport. But it's not like we're getting any. We personally. So if I take players out of, it's for the love of doing it. It's not for. Well, why would I sign a player? You can imagine in Asia, there's salaries range from $1,000 to maybe $10,000, or depending on where you are. But most of the range will be 3 to 5. That money should be for them to sustain their families. They've worked hard for it. There would be absolutely no joy or no
satisfaction.
Satisfaction in me or any one of the coaches ever taking money from a player who's worked for 3 years to get a 1-year contract and taking 10% of his money. It's not right. It's not ethically the right thing to do, and it's morally, for me, it's abhorrent. I'd never do it. Like football clubs, everyone says, there's big money in football. Mm-hmm. Football clubs, apart from the biggest clubs in the world, and we're talking about the European Super League, they're the clubs who make money. In football, other clubs don't make money. They mostly lose money. Most of the money that comes in goes back into the club. If you're a football club owner, you get a hard ride. You really got to love football, because you don't make money, you spend money. There is no money to be made in football in that way. The agents might make money. The players, of course, make their money. The coaches will make their money from their salary. Mm-hmm. But the owners don't make money. It's a great love and passion to be part of a football club. But there's no money to be made as an owner. You're the one who gives it all out. If you can have enough money to do what you love doing and live comfortably, then don't chase the money, because the money will follow. If it's right and fate and God wills, the money will follow.
I think you're speaking from the male side of it. I'll need to speak to this man's wife, because I can imagine what goes on in her head when she found out, like, you have this connection with the African team and you are called the head coach, and it's a big position. But then, what's the salary? What is the take home? I would need to speak to this man's wife to understand what she was thinking. I mean, by allowing this man to keep doing what he's doing, and it's not just for a month or 2 months or 3 months. This has been going on for years. You must have a very strong and very supportive wife for her to support what you're doing here. So
you're right. My wife says she's a wonderful woman.
Exactly.
And she works hard. She's very fortunate that she's really good at what she does as well, and she has a passion for it. and
She's not a football coach.
No, she has a passion for her job as a
Her
teacher,
job as a teacher.
and now as a head teacher, she makes a comfortable salary, which
But still,
supplements the income we make from the academy.
Every woman who wants her husband having a job that at least that you can say he's bringing something from it, or he's getting this amount of money from it at the end of the month. I think I need to speak to your wife.
Why not? That's what she says.
So, at this point, we welcome Mrs. Mary McAloon. Please.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I've met you so many times, and I'm not strange. You're not strange to me in any way. You're like a family to me already. But I want you to introduce yourself to our viewers today to know who you are, like I know you.
Okay, well, I'm Mary McAloon, James's wife. We've been married now for 11 years.
Yeah,
coming up.
11 years.
Yeah, 11 good years.
Great years.
Good years, great years. But been together for much longer actually. So I'm supporting James all the way through his career, as you've heard, up to now. But there's been many other aspects of the career that have been just great to watch and appreciate the time and efforts that he puts in.
Wow. Okay. Please, I am struggling to get this off my mind, but I've been itching to ask you this question. How did you feel when your husband came back home and looked you in the face, looked you in the eye and said, I am the head coach of the African team in Vietnam?
Extremely proud.
But I'm not getting paid for it.
It's irrelevant. Because,
It's irrelevant?
Yeah. I think
Which planet am I living in?
in life you choose to do things that make you happy, okay? Bring fulfillment to what you believe in. And knowing him for so long and so well, that inspiration for me is that he finds something that every day he wants to get up and do. There aren't many people like that in the world.
You're
and
not.
James is special to that.
Nah.
I get up, I do my job, I get paid for it.
Yeah.
Maybe I wouldn't do it if I didn't get paid as well.
Exactly, because
it's true.
I am telling you, I've worked with him in the African team, and after a year and a half, I was like, nah, I'm good, I'm done. But he's been going at it time after time, spending some time, some money, I know if you were at the field each and every training session, you'll be buying a lot of Panadol because he screams, he shouts, in over 40 degrees of sun. And at the end of the day, he's not bringing any money home. And you think
it's true. But let's not forget the why. Why does he do it?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because it's about the people. Like we know these people that he coaches. We spend time with them, not just on the field.
Yeah.
And they are part of our family and our community too. And that's what drives us together. He brings washing home, we do it. Why do we do it? Because we love the people that we spend time with. And that to me is precious. I think precious to...
You guys are not normal. Seriously, you guys are not normal, because if from experience, if the husband is doing something that we consider as a job, usually there has to be a financial reward to it. At least if you're going to sacrifice your time and your effort and your money for something, maybe okay, let's help out for a month, for 3 months, for 6 months, but not for a year, for 2 years, for over 3 years that I've known him. Because as I was saying, if I told him at the field that he is able to do what he's doing because I think you are fully in support of it. Because if he had come back home one day and he said, honey, I don't think this is working, you can't be doing this, because what's the point? You are spending so much money doing it, you've been away, as in every morning going out, and you're going to work. Then there's nothing coming in. Somebody will be screaming at you and asking you questions why you keep doing that. But listening to you reiterates the fact that he's got a very, very big support in his wife, and he believe, and both of you believe that there's a vision to what he's doing, and that's very uncommon. You've been in Vietnam for over 6 years.
Mm-hmm.
You've been in
6
Vietnam.
years, yeah.
First of all, aside from the football aspect, what do you think about Vietnam as a country? What has been your experience so far here?
The country itself, well, having worked for 2 different schools here now.
Okay.
Currently I'm in the British and Vietnamese international school, so working alongside Vietnamese close at heart, you know, ladies that and gents who have been in their job for 10 years and will go for longer, and these are Vietnamese. This people are special. It's a place that you have to get to know and understand the culture to really for have mutual benefit. It takes time, and that's, I guess, why 6 years I keep going stronger actually every day, because if you don't engage, then you would never know, because they are open people, but you need to make a relationship with them, and it's a very special place.
Okay.
Very special.
Your husband, I know, doesn't speak any Vietnamese.
Chup chup.
What about you?
Yeah, chup chup.
Chup chup.
Probably less. A little,
little.
but not enough. You know,
Not
again,
enough to go buy some compound?
No, not enough for that. Some gestures.
You can buy compound. What do you say when you get there? I was listening to your communication with your driver this morning. What? Cung gà.
Chicken.
It's not gao. Come on now. It's not even close. Come on now. Like, I was listening to you this morning communicating with your driver. He was Mr. T. He was like nodding his head.
Mr. T's English is better than my Vietnamese.
Of course, I can see that, because he was understanding some of the things you were saying. But some of the things he was saying, he said, chẳng hiểu gì hết. He doesn't understand, but he still nods his head. I was listening to both of you. I was laughing my head off.
So Mr. T loves football.
He loves football.
So that's why he's very happy. When obviously Mary got the job, he was like, James, lots of football. So now even Mr. T come and if sometimes he can join in.
Oh, really?
He can play. He's a striker.
Nice. Yeah, but language is a very big aspect of Vietnam. If you want to live here and to do your business or work in Vietnam, the language is very important. What's the biggest aspect of Vietnam that you love?
Wow, the biggest aspect. I think the way that the people embrace life. You know, you can get up at any hour and there's somebody doing something that's interesting and it's inspiring. You know, whether it's 5 a.m. there's someone exercising, or it's 11 p.m. there's someone exercising, for example. So just the way that the people go about their life and they embrace, no matter what they have, no matter what the world gives them, they seemingly enjoy their time.
Being here for 6 years, you must have had your highs and your lows. What have been the biggest lows or biggest regrets about you living as an expat in Vietnam?
You say there must have been some highs and lows. That's a really interesting concept, isn't it?
Yeah.
In my mind, nothing sticks out as a huge low.
Oh, okay.
Honestly.
Nice.
I just think that's the way we are in life.
Yeah.
Of course, one of the lows is that you miss family, you know, and let's hope nothing ever makes us miss them so greatly that we cannot get back in these hard times, for example, right now. But, you know, missing family, but actually, as you know, we have family between us, and our family here is so strong, it doesn't make a huge low for me. Many highs, I can tell you many highs, but in reality, you know, I haven't really got any. And I think if you had, then you move on. You do something different.
Yeah. In Vietnam, they usually say green is move, yellow is move faster, red is run until you see a police, traffic police. I'm gonna test your Vietnamese skills. Let me see how.
This is not gonna go.
Okay, but I'm still gonna do it anyway. Okay, it's very simple. What I'm going to ask you guys to do is just very basic Vietnamese. I'm not going to ask you to do a lot. Just introduce yourself, your name, and where you come from in Vietnam.
I can tell you a few colours and animals.
You can tell a few colors and animals, but you cannot do like basic introduction in Vietnam. Like, my name is Mary McAloon and I'm from...
Xin chào, Mary McAloon. Hello, Mary McAloon. That's all I can say.
Give it a try, man.
No comment. I'll tell you a few colours. I learnt them this year.
Can I give you like a heads up? Mình tên là Mary McAloon. Mình đến từ nước Nga. Mình đến từ nước Anh. I'm from England.
Mình tell. Anh, yeah.
Nước Anh is England.
Mình tell Mary McAloon.
Mình tên là Mary McAloon.
Mình tell Mary McAloon.
Mình tên là Mary McAloon.
Mình tell, I don't know the rest of it.
Mình tên là. My name is. Yeah, my name is.
James McAloon.
Yeah.
What is it?
Mình đến từ. Mình, or you can say tôi or mình. Mình is the same, it means the same. Tôi tên là James McAloon. Tôi đến từ nước Anh. Tôi đến từ nước Anh.
Nước Anh.
Sounds like you're saying water now.
Like you say, there's like water in his mouth. I want to ask you guys, you've been here for 6 years. Okay, what's the most easiest word for you to say, or common phrase, Vietnamese phrase that you can say?
For a football coach?
Yeah.
Chúng tay! You should have known that already.
Even I know that one.
Even he set it up to the point that you now know that one.
I know it.
Every time there's a game, you always hear him. Chúng tay, yellow card, chúng tay. I always hear him say that.
And then for players, it's like nhanh lên, like quicker, go fast.
Nhanh lên.
Fast, nhanh lên. So if it's related to football, that's more likely that I'd be able to say it. But like if somebody does something good, like rat
tốc.
Đúng rồi.
Đúng rồi.
But anything like when like it's gotta be situational. So even for example, for anything that I like to do, it has to have purpose.
Yeah.
If you're gonna watch a movie, it should be like a true story. If you're gonna read a book, it should be a biography.
Yeah.
If it doesn't have purpose, then
what's the point?
Like when am I ever gonna go to say hi, my name's James and I'm from England? Like I don't know when that would ever happen. So I find it like
you can meet like every Vietnamese, like they will say, oh, hello, what my name? Where you from?
I get it, yeah, but that's kind of small talk, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not good at small talk. Maybe that's it.
But you are very good at nhanh lên.
Yeah, anything that means
Đúng
that
rồi.
we can direction that's going to help players or going to get us to,
Some time.
Like even a lot of Vietnamese football related phrases are the same, like shoot is shoot.
Yeah.
So go left, go right, like if you want him to go yes.
All right, my final question, this is my final question. There are a lot of people that really think Vietnam is a war-torn country and there's no safety, there's no, I mean, like people cannot survive here, or there's so much difficulty, or communist rules, and so many things are being said about Vietnam. What can you say to these people?
Come and live it and breathe it and you'll know a little bit different. You'll feel different about it.
Yeah, I think Vietnam is probably the safest place you can live. Like there's, of course, there is still some crime on some levels, but in reality, it's never really violent crime. It's more opportunistic if you're careful and you do. Yeah, anyway you can say that, but I'd say it's probably, I don't know where it is on the safe track, but it is probably one of the safest places to live in the world. And yeah, you've got to come here first and you've got to see it. Yeah, we all sometimes do a really bad job of listening to bad propaganda from our own country.
Exactly, because it's what the media puts out there.
Exactly. So it's easy to be critical, and I don't see that as a way. I love living here. I much prefer, not that I wouldn't want to live in the UK again, but I enjoy living here, and I wouldn't change it.
All right, Mr. and Mrs. McAloon, I at this point I have to say a huge thank you to both of you for, first of all, to you receiving us at the football field. I trained today like you pushed me like I've never been pushed in so many months today. And I'm going to come back to training, and once in a while I'm going to have the time. And huge thanks to you, Mrs. Mary McAloon, for having us in your beautiful home. I'm so very happy to be here today and to meet my friend again and to meet with you guys. A lot of people might not know you as well as I know you, but I know how much you guys work hard for all you've got and how much generosity that spills from you guys has been so amazing for me knowing you guys personally. And I hope that you guys keep getting motivated to do what you're doing, because you have been nothing but amazing to so many of the young African kids that are playing at the African team, and the support and the inspiration and motivation that you guys give to him. When I say you guys, I mean it completely, because he can't do what he's doing without your full support. So I give credit to you for supporting him to do what he's doing. It's been nothing but amazing for the team and for the boys, and they can't have it any other way. I've spoken to a lot of the boys, I meet with them. I know how much they value him and the team, and how much they respect him. You know, so I really appreciate all that you do, and I want to say thank you so much for having us in your home, and hopefully we'll get to do this sometime soon.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you as well.
Thank you guys
Thanks
so
for
much.
having us. It
Thank
feels
you.
a privilege. I felt all warm and fuzzy inside.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and our beautiful viewers, at this point, this is the end of the show for today. We thank Mary and James McAloon for having us today, and hope you enjoy the show. And hopefully, we'll have some more episodes coming up that you'll get to enjoy. All right, as I usually say, I'm your host, Mr. Nam, Vietnam's finest. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Ciao.
Fantastic.
Oh, thanks.